Good morning. I want to share some thoughts from the book of Isaiah. Some of them I'm borrowing from James Montgomery Boyce, and some of them I'm borrowing from youth group last week. So it says in Isaiah chapter 6, it was the year King Uzziah died. That really means very little to us, but Uzziah had been king for a long time. And what's he saying is a year of uncertainty. Would we know anything about years of uncertainty? The last 4 years, perhaps, have been some of the most uncertain times that many of us have known. So what does he see? What does Isaiah notice? He says that I saw the Lord. He was sitting on a lofty throne, and the train of his robe filled the temple. So the first thing is that the Lord is high, lifted up. He's seated on the throne. He alone is Lord. He alone is in control, and he is always in control. The fact that his train fills the temple, there's no room at the apex of the universe for anybody else but the Lord. There's not room for us, so to speak, in that room. There's not. He is in a class by himself. It goes on to describe the angels, these mighty seraphim, each having 6 wings, and with I don't have time to go into the whole story here, but they covered their eyes. They didn't even feel worthy to look upon the Lord. And they cried out, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of heaven's armies. The whole earth is filled with his glory." Their voices shook the temple to its foundation. The entire building was filled with smoke. And some people are filled with smoke. I mean, I've been to church services where they got like the smoke machine going and everything. So you think Isaiah's standing up like, "Whoo, this is awesome." No, he comes undone. He comes undone. Then I said, "It's all over. I am doomed, for I am a sinful man. I have filthy lips, and I live among a people with filthy lips. Yet I've seen the King, the Lord of heaven's armies." So at youth group last week, we were talking about the story about the Roman centurion who sent for Jesus to come and heal his son, and he sent some Jewish friends. And the friends said, "He's a good guy. He helped us build the synagogue and everything." But he said he wasn't worthy to go. So I asked the students, so it was on this talk sheet we were doing, like, how do you feel as far as being worthy or unworthy? And I kind of checked in between, because it's like, I'm not worthy, but I know that God can make me worthy. And do you know, these junior hires and high schoolers, we were all on the same page. It's kind of like, no, in and of myself, no, I'm not worthy. But God can make me worthy, and I don't want to negate that. And that's exactly what happened with Isaiah. And that's exactly what happened with Peter. Remember, Peter has the huge catch of fish after he's telling Jesus, "Look, you're the preacher, I'm the fisherman. There's no fish out there." Jesus says, "Humor me. Throw your nets over there." And what does Peter say? "Let's go into business, let's sell fish. Let's make a lot of money." No, he just says, "Depart from me, for I'm a sinful man." Does Jesus depart from him? No. Instead, he's like, "Now you get it." Isn't it ironic? Isn't it counterintuitive? Isn't it paradoxical that when we see how unworthy we are, that then we're the prime candidates to be used by the Lord? And that's exactly what happens here. There's verse 6, "Then one of the seraphim flew to me with a burning coal he had taken from the altar. With a pair of tongs, he touched my lips with it and said, 'See, this coal has touched your lips. Now your guilt is removed and your sins are forgiven.' Then I heard the Lord asking, 'Who should I send as a messenger to this people? Who will go for us?' And I said, 'Here I am, send me.'" It's the same thing as the centurion. It's the same thing as Peter. And it's the same for us. When we see the Lord and we recognize who he really is, we come undone. We realize, how could God possibly use me? And when we confess that, then God says, "Okay, let me take you up on it." And then, so he says, "Here am I, send me." And the Lord said to him, "Yes, go. And say to the people," and that's the rest of the story. But in our lives, when we acknowledge who God really is, it's going to make a change in our lives. And then God says, "Okay, now you get it. And now I'm ready to use you." May God use you in a powerful way in a world that really needs you this day, this week. God bless you.